It is definitely the end of an era, at least for WWE main event. Definitely not by match quality, unfortunately. What's up, everybody? Your boy DJ Kaz, and of course, back on YouTube to give you my WWE main event review from July 16th, 2021. And yes, people, this is the final WWE main event aired from the PC era, the Thunderdome era. The next main event that we do will actually have live fans. So, believe it or not, like, we're all talking about, like, on how, like, when we get to Raw Monday, like, that's going to be the first Raw live crowd with people. Like, the WWE main event people are going to get the first pops of the night. So, that's definitely going to be interesting to actually watch next week. But yes, this was the final Thunderdome era edition of WWE Main Event. I gotta say, real quick, all right, right out the gate, I think of all the minor WWE shows, I think WWE Main Event was probably the one show during the PC slash Thunderdome era that actually had some decent wrestling on here. And definitely the best era of like main event in a long time, in my opinion. I mean, we had some good matches between guys like Fabian Eichner and Cedric Alexander, Murphy versus Angelo Dawkins. I think there was a tag match between Ricochet, Cedric, and Murphy and what's that guy's name? Oh yeah, Austin Theory. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin just killing it. Like, oh, we got the Karrion Kross and Bronson Reed stuff. So this is actually probably the most noteworthy year and a half of like WWE main event that's happened in a long, long time. So there was definitely some good stuff on these shows, but for the majority, of course, it's really just been the same dudes doing the same stuff. So I'm hoping that WWE main event can still be like this, where we get some main roster stuff here and there. We can get some first time one-on-one matches. I mean, this was the show where we got Mustafa Ali versus Ricochet for the first time. So I'm hoping that continues. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the final Thunderdome era of WWE main event. And the first match that we had was Angel Garza, or Angel Garza as I like to call him, taking on Jaxson, Ryker. Kevin Patrick and Byron Saxton, of course, on commentary. There was absolutely nothing to this match. I mean, it's funny because, again, Jaxson Ryker, because he's from North Carolina and I'm always going to root for him in a way. But, like, the wrong guy won here because it's like, Angel Garza is young, he's fast, he's a heck of a lot more agile. But the problem is in this company, as we all know, he's too small. And the big, jacked up, tattoo, bearded muscle guy, who Jaxson Ryker, this is my first time actually listening to his entrance music. Boy, is it just generic. It is so bad. Jaxson Ryker is huge, of course. They actually shook hands when this matchup started. And a lock up between both men. And there was also a nice shoulder tackle from Ryker in this matchup. Ryker just completely overpowers Garza until Garza actually hit a nice little slingshot drop kick after from the ropes after the pants gimmick finally came off and Garza would take control. There was some nice stuff from Garza in this match, that's for sure. Because Garza was really working on the leg of Jaxson Ryker, trying to get him down. And then unfortunately, like, Jaxson Ryker just does his thing, stuff that doesn't look all that impressive to me. Suplex, runs in the corner, and he did a very, very terrible. People, the only person to ever hit like a black hole slam or a side slam perfectly for me has been Abyss. And Bad News Barrett, Wade Barrett, whoever he is. But Jaxson Ryker almost lost Garza on that one. They looked like they were going so fast, and it just ended abruptly, and Ryker got the win. Again, it's like out of all the members of the Forgotten Sons, Jaxson Ryker was the one is the one that still has a job when Blake and Cutler were clearly more talented as a tag team than he was, but that's what's like at this company. So yeah, Ryker it's one of the final wins on main event. They did a quick recap of the Natalya Rhea match from Monday. It looked good from what I saw. Natalya's good, Rhea's all right. And then they recapped Charlotte actually getting the beat down on Rhea Ripley before the pay-per-view this Sunday for Money in the Bank. Which I'll give my little bit of previews for these as preview for Money in the Bank as these recaps go along. Rhea versus Charlotte, I think Rhea has to win because it's just that it's about time that Rhea finally gets that one clean win over Charlotte. It's time. It's time. And it's time to like really see what Rhea has because no offense, but it's like we need Rhea to work with other people other than Charlotte. And Charlotte's good. I actually think she gets a little too much hate online personally because it's not her fault. But yeah, it's time for Rhea to get that strong win. Clean as a whistling sheet. Just beat Charlotte in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Charlotte will not be hurt one bit for losing to the better person. I think Rhea should win. They did a quick recap of the Edge, Mysterio versus Roman and Usos stuff from SmackDown, which it's been decent again from the recaps I saw and the promo set that opened SmackDown last week, which is of course is going to lead to the 6-man tag on SmackDown tonight. And which actually I'll preview these matches. Edge versus Roman. This is a match I actually wanted to see at WrestleMania. So I think Roman Reigns is definitely going to get the win because I like Edge, but I mean, Edge just really hasn't. The problem is that with Edge, it's like they're bringing him back as the same dude from like 10 years ago. And it's like this is an older veteran now. He needs to like really apply himself to be like, yeah, he can be the rated R superstar, but there's got to be more to it than that because Edge is not that young. And Roman, I'm sorry, but an over 40-year-old Edge beating Roman Reigns is not good right now, especially since it just doesn't feel like the right time. So yeah, Roman gets the win. And there was a match I was actually at for the kickoff, the Usos taking on the Mysterios for the SmackDown tag titles, which I think the Usos win here because, no offense, but it's like if the Usos, I think you can get more challengers for the Usos than the Mysterios because, I mean, like, to me, if the Usos lose again after having 2 title shots like just a month ago, I don't know what you do with them from there. So it's like, I think the Usos should win. The final match of the Thunderdome era was Mansoor taking on Shelton Benjamin. And this was definitely a decent little match. Mansoor, he is very, very talented. Then we had a lockup to start off this match. And there was a nice side headlock from Shelton Benjamin to Mansoor in this matchup. And all of a sudden, Mustafa Ali walks out on the ramp, which is continuing that storyline from Monday Night Raw, which this is what main event needs to be. Just wove in some storylines with some key players on Monday night. Just wove them in and out and just continue them on main event. That way, it's like, okay, this somewhat means something. They're probably not going to mention that Ali was walking out to see Mansoor's match on main event from the Raw guys. But I mean, at least this is something. And then all of a sudden, Shelton Benjamin, for some reason, this match was very aggressive. Like he was very, very insulted that this guy took his eyes off of him. So I don't know what in the world was going on for there. I'm pretty sure he wasn't taking liberties by any means, but that was kind of weird. Mustafa Ali was still at ringside. And again, I love Shelton. I like Mansoor, but it's like there was way too many chin locks in this match. Like, Shelton just kept grounding him, and grounding him to the point where I'm like, this went from a decent match to like a match. And then Shelton would spray his feet off the ropes and give a knee into the corner to Mansoor. And by the way, Shelton Benjamin actually tried to put his feet on the ropes in this match, but Mustafa Ali said the ref, no, don't count him. And then Mansoor actually reversed that, which led to Mansoor getting a roll-up win over Shelton Benjamin. I hate seeing Shelton lose like this. It's amazing where he was at just 5 months ago to where he's at now. But Mansoor should have got the win. The right guy did win at the end of the day. And of course, to finally wrap up this edition, they recapped the Bobby Kofi stuff from Raw. And Bobby Lashley cutting the promo of his career. He did slip up a bit, I heard, but it was still fine overall. Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley. Right now, I'm pretty sure you've heard the reports that Goldberg is apparently on his way back this Monday night on Raw. So I think because of that, I think it's only right that Kofi does not win. I've seen a lot of people say just give the belt to Kofi, but it's like I'm never a fan of you just dropping the belt for no apparent reason, but because it's like, well, Kofi's good. And he is good. But it's like Lashley is on fire right now. there's no reason for him to lose the belt. Keep him as strong as humanly possible. Don't give anybody any like side title reigns that last for only like a day or two, or even a month or so. Keep Lashley strong. But yes, people, that is it. Yep, this was the final edition of WWE Main Event from the Thunderdome era. We'll see if this format of this show changes as far as weaving guys in and out of the show. But as far as that was the final edition of Main Event from the Thunderdome era. And that is it from my end. I am DJ Kaz. I will see you around later days.